We got a new drill. I'm ready.
Michael Breed, I'm Craig Kent. Take care, everybody.
Hi, I'm Jim Flick. Welcome to the Golf Channel Academy. We're in Carlsbad, California at the TaylorMade Performance and Research Lab, and our topic is helping you develop more consistency throughout your golf game. It's important that you make the best use of your time and be realistic with yourself as to your goals. Is that compatible with the time you can spend? And some of the time that you can do away from the golf course that will help you play better golf. To help us understand how to use our time better, we have a great ambassador for the game, a very fine player, who's 16th on the all-time money list, Mr. Tom Lehman.
Hey there, Jim.
Thomas, thanks for being with us today.
It's good to be with you.
And tell us a little bit about how you use your practice time to make it the most productive.
You know, I think you have to really want to make it count. I think you always hear that cliche that you play like you practice. So I actually do believe that. I think when you practice, you need to practice with a purpose. And so to me, that means that you do things on the range or on the putting green, chipping green, with a purpose of being better on the golf course. And so there's a few things that I do, which I think have really helped me over the years. And I think the one more than anything is just a simple contest I play with myself when I hit golf balls in the range is simply to keep the ball either left of the flag or right of the flag, you know, because very often in tournament competition you get those pins which are stuck way in the corners, and there's water and there's OB and there's bunkers, and so the idea of keeping the ball to one side or the other really helps me when I compete. You know, so I'll, get on the driving range, I get my target, and I'll say to myself, okay, I've got to keep it left of the flag, and the idea is to get as close to the flag as possible, but yet still be left of the flag, and so I'll hit shots trying to be a little bit left of the flag, and this one here is coming down. You can't really see it probably, but it's ended up about 3 feet right of the flag, and that's an automatic loser. Automatic loser. You know, and it works really well if you're with a friend or with somebody, because then you can have a competition. Sure. And then it makes it even better. But but the more you get into the moment, the more you get into hitting the shot, and there's a little bit of pressure on it, and you're playing a match against your buddy. The next one then becomes just right of the flag. So you try to hit a shot that starts right and draws back towards the flag.
So the guy who can hit it the closest to the correct side is the winner for that particular shot.
Right, so you just go shot after shot, and the winner goes, and so you end up with a competition, and so every shot matters. You're concentrating on every shot. You have a purpose for every shot.
So your mind gets focused on the time.
You get very focused on the target and the shot you want to hit and where you want to hit it to, because I'm a firm believer in saying that I want to hit it here versus I don't want to hit it there.
For sure. Tom, one of the things that most of the people I watch practice is without any clubs to guide them how to get into their target line and how to get set up consistently. And I love to have people practice with a shaft or a golf club out in front of them that they can put on the target line. And you fellas who play so well with your eyes, Tom, and you use your vision so strongly, it gets your eyes rotating down the target line and committing to the target. And then I like to kind of put one over to the side so people understand what parallel left is for their alignment, because 90% of the people seem to aim right and come over the ball, don't they? Or 80% anyway?
Well, yeah, definitely, because what I see very often is you tell somebody aim at that flag out there, and so they'll try to get their feet aiming right at the flag. So the feet get over here, then the club head gets over to the right, and then they've got to make that move back
over the
on
top
track.
Or do a lot of face rotation through impact, don't they, Tom?
So you get them parallel to each other. Now the idea becomes of getting your feet, your hips, your shoulders all on the same lines. And golf becomes way easier when you have everything going in the same direction. Golf becomes very difficult when you have your feet going this way, your hips going that way, and then your shoulders going that way. All these different angles, going different directions causes a lot of problems.
It's hard to be consistent when the angles have to be changed during the swing, isn't it, Tom?
Right. You having to compensate for all this. How do you compensate? You've got to find a way to get your hips back to square, your shoulders going back, and it all has to be in the course of about a second and a half throughout the golf swing. So it's, so you can do it.
Strangely enough, that's the best shot we've hit. I guess that tells me you're a pretty good athlete.
It helps to be an athlete.
Tom, of a serious nature, people, what I see so often is they aim incorrectly. They make a swing that makes the ball go to the target, so they assume that's the correct motion. So they've wrongly identified the motion they're trying to make, haven't they?
Right. You're trying to keep it simple.
Absolutely. And so now, Tom, tell us a little bit about your practice session away from the golf course. I mean, you're now doing a lot physically and training a lot. Tell us about that.
Yeah, well, I grew up playing sports, and so for the longest time, you know, my athletic ability was good enough to keep me, you know, on the right track. But as I've gotten older, it is definitely more difficult to stay flexible, to stay loose, to stay strong. You know, so I began a training program over a year ago, you know, lifting weights, stretching, aerobic cardio stuff, just to be in better shape, you know. And in simple things, for example, you know, like a stretch, you know, where you would just go into a bit of a lunge, then you twist and you hold it like this, pushing your hips forward, and you hold that and then you step back and do it again the other way. You know, so you're working on it. So what it's doing is it's stretching out your legs, increasing your flexibility, working on your balance. And you do a program like that, combined with a little bit of weight training with some cardio, and you find that, you know, I'm 47, I'm in the best shape I've been in probably 15 or 20 years, and my swing is probably as good as it's been in 15 or 20 years, or at least 10 years.
Tom, we're going to come back and talk about some other things mentally, but I like what you're talking about, being prepared, because it starts before you get to the golf course.
Well, if you're going to go play Augusta, you know, you need to be thinking about Augusta well ahead of time, and the tee shots you have to hit, the iron shots you have to hit, and you need to be working on your game to produce that, you know, and that's really the most fun part of golf. As a kid, one thing I would do is I saw a picture of Lee Trevino, and the picture showed him past impact. The ball was right here, his club head was way here, and it was still only that far off the ground. All right, the idea of compressing the ball and being low through the ball and on plane.
Waste Management is using the resources at our disposal to create enough green energy to power over 1 million homes. From everyday collection to environmental protection, think green. Think Waste Management.
This commercial changed my life.
It all started when I used this free research service.
A computer and a desire to succeed is all you need.
With all the money I made, I bought a new home and a new car.
My goal for next month, $60,000.
Use your computer to make more.
I love the freedom my home business offers. And the money just keeps getting better.
Not working from home? Then you're missing out on your share of a billion-dollar industry. Visit this website now.
I make over $9,000 a month working part-time.
I make over $5,000 a month. Never thought I'd make this much right out of school.
All you need is to visit this website.
They showed me how to use the power of television to build real wealth.
I'm making over $12,000 a month.
Check it out yourself. You'll see why I love working from home.
Ready for more wealth? Put your computer to work now. Start making more from your home by going to this website today.
Log on to 88gogreen.com now.
How many courses did you call before you found one that wasn't too far, wasn't too expensive, had a driving range, and could squeeze you in between 10 and 11? Maybe you should have just gone to golfnow.com and got it all in one shot. Get tee times at thousands of courses nationwide, online 24 hours a day. Book tee times at Northern California courses like Rancho Cañada and Laguna Seca. Golf Channel Thursday. Michelle Wie makes her LPGA Tour rookie season debut. But this is the first full field event on tour. And these ladies are ready to get it started. Who can handle the pressure and make it to the winner's circle? It's game on. The SBS Open at Turtle Bay. Coverage begins Thursday at 6:30 p.m. and 12:30 a.m. Eastern on Golf Channel. Golf Channel, Thursday. The Big Fijian is back, and he's aiming to make a splash at Pebble Beach by taking down the Player of the Year, Padraig Harrington. And the FedEx Cup champ isn't the only one back at Pebble. Bill Murray makes his triumphant return to the star-studded AT&T Pebble Beach National Pro-Am. Thursday and Friday at 2:30 and 8:30 Eastern, exclusively on Golf Channel.
T, I noticed you don't have a glove on today.
Yeah, you know, when I practice, frequently I don't wear a glove. And normally I don't wear golf shoes either. I usually wear tennis shoes, and it's all about the thing that helps me to create better rhythm when I'm, you know, without a glove and with wearing tennis shoes.
So it makes you more aware of the club and what your body's doing?
Just, yeah, I need to swing with better rhythm in order to keep control of the club head, to not slip.
Okay.
You know, so I mean, I grew up playing barefoot. You know, so I didn't wear golf shoes.
You and Sam Snead.
Yeah,
huh?
exactly. But I just feel like, you know, those kinds of things are just one little thing you can do to kind of help you develop a better rhythm and not swing where you're changing speeds in the swing all the time.
Tom, that touches on something that's so critical. People hear a lot of things and have information, but they really got to go through the trial and error of trying to apply it and make it work for them, don't they?
Absolutely, yeah. You can hear all the great teaching you want, and you can watch this show and pick up some great tips, but you need to go out and make it your own. You've got to own this stuff for yourself, because everybody's unique. And, you know, that's the way I learned how to play golf. I kind of learned how to play golf kind of in reverse, so to speak. It was all predicated upon the flight of the ball. You know, so I would get a tip, and I think about, you know, how am I going to apply that, you know, to my golf swing, and realizing that, you know, I don't want to hit the ball with the club back this way.
Okay.
I want to hit the ball with the club forward this way.
And that's what led you to maybe being such a good iron player. And, of course, playing in the wind like you did in Minnesota, you had to hit your ball down, didn't you?
Absolutely. So I just, you know, if I'm thinking about hitting it higher, I want to have impact right here. If I want to hit it lower, I want the club to be more this way. And I just took all the things that I learned about posture and about flattening out my left wrist or whatever it might be, and applied it to the golf swing, and it all was dedicated on the trajectory. So if I wanted to hit it high, you know, I knew I had to hit it more with the angle of the club like this. And
hit a couple high for us, Tom.
So I hit a couple high ones.
See, that's really what we did at Rochester one at Oak Hill at the Ryder Cup in '95, was to hit balls high to that tree out to the right there. It helped you stay behind your ball.
Absolutely. Yeah. You know, the biggest problem I have with my golf swing when I get in trouble is I tend to take it back, not get a very good turn, I hang left, and then I lean. Okay?
So it takes all the loft off the club, doesn't it?
Right.
Or back up, either one of the two.
Right. So the way for me to get out of that is to kind of go in reverse. So what's the opposite of hitting a ball where you're like this? The opposite is hitting a ball like this.
Okay, hit a little knockdown for us then, so we can see the difference in the position of your body and the club and your hands at impact.
If I hit it low, I play the ball back, and I want to make sure I get to this position, right to here. And so I drive my legs hard, and
And boy, I've seen you hit a lot of shots that way where the trajectory is so perfect.
Right. You know, as a kid, one thing I would do is I saw a picture of Lee Trevino, and the picture showed him past impact. The ball was right here. His club head was way here, and it was still only that far off the ground. All right. The idea of compressing the ball and being low through the ball and on plane. And so I spent a lot of time as a kid trying to, you know, copy Lee Trevino, which is why I swing the way I do, is I try to get the club going well past the ball. You know
what? Those are the two best shots you've hit this morning. Maybe we ought to bring Lee back into our vision, huh?
No, yeah, but the idea, though, is taking the things that you know are true and applying it to your own swing, you know, and then letting the trajectory and the distance control be your judge. I mean, you be your own coach, so to speak.
And then that gives you really accurate feedback, doesn't it? The ball doesn't lie to us, does it?
Right. So if you hit a shot, you're trying to hit it high, but it really balloons and it goes 10 yards shorter. Well, you know that something wasn't quite right.
Okay.
If you hit a shot that's nice and high and it's solid and it's driving and the wind's not really touching it, you know, boy, now you're onto something. Okay, so what did I do that time? Why did that ball react that way? Or the same with the low one, you know?
Hit one more low fade for us, Mr. T.
See, a low fade, that's the toughest one for me to hit.
Well, maybe that's why I asked for it.
Okay.
Well, that is about as good as the golf ball can behave right there. And Tom, and I noticed your eyes watch the ball hit. And you remember in '96, Tom, we hit a lot of golf balls having you stay in your spine angle till the ball hit the ground. Yeah. And that really helped us get more consistent. Let's do that one more time for folks, because it's a habit that I see now that you've formed, and it's almost a trademark of Tom Lehman, how your spine angle stays out over the ball, and it stays right in that position until the ball hits the ground. And that takes the balance, doesn't it, Tom, and makes you feel like that you're in control of your golf ball and yourself.
Whatever you say.
Well, does it look like it?
No, you're right. No, the spine angle is really important.
I think it's one of the fundamentals for consistency, because you're going to make better contact if your spine stays in that right position, obviously.
Yeah, you're right. The spine is really the key to having good posture, constant spine angle, you know, rotate around the spine. It really simplifies the swing, and then you're able to get, you know, a consistent strike on the ball. It's all about the strike, hitting it in the middle of the club face.
You do that nicely.
Yeah, I try, thank you. You know, I think the reason I've gotten better at driving is I don't lean nearly as much this way to get to the ball. I'm using my legs more so my left shoulder stays behind it, and so I end up hitting it where I'm behind the ball.
And that lets you hit on the upswing, doesn't it?
I hit on the upswing.
What can you be sure of in times like these? You can be sure of the fact that we are one of the world's best capitalized banks. That our capabilities are backed by 140 years of experience. Above all, you can be sure of our commitment to a relationship we call You and Us. You and Us. UBS.
Attention, all Medicare beneficiaries who need assistance getting around their homes. There is a Medicare benefit that may qualify you for a new power chair or scooter at little to no cost to you. Imagine one scooter or power chair that could improve your mobility and your life. One Medicare benefit that, with private insurance, may entitle you to pay little to nothing to own it. One company that can make it all happen.
Your power chair will be paid in full.
The Scooter Store.
Hi, I'm Dan Weston. We're experts at getting you the scooter or power chair you need. In fact, if we pre-qualify you for Medicare reimbursement and Medicare denies your claim, we'll give you your new power chair or scooter free.
I didn't pay a penny out of pocket for my power chair. With help from the Scooter Store, Medicare and my insurance covered it all.
Call the Scooter Store for free information today.
Call 1-866-365-5048 for free information. That number again is 1-866-365-5048.
Would you like to put a...
The price of gold has changed. Now you can get extra cash. Recycle old gold scraps, gathering dust. Call the number on your screen for quick cash. The Gold Kit is absolutely free. Send old rings, charms, dental scrap, and more.
I got $600 for my scrap gold.
It's easy. Call the toll-free number now. We'll mail you the kit and payment information with a check to follow promptly. Gold Kit and postage are free. Your satisfaction guaranteed. Call the number on your screen now or visit goldkit.com.
Imagine a picture so real you can reach out and touch it. That's high definition in 1080i. Vibrant color, stunning detail, perfect clarity, with more HD choices than anyone. All delivered to you by America's leading fiber optic network for TV, phone, and internet. That's Comcast HD in stunning 1080i. It's a beautiful thing.
Fair. African Americans weren't allowed.
Golf Channel presents the story of the Negro Leagues of Golf, told by the courageous and gifted men who persevered.
Not only the golfing community, but everyone should know who they were. I owe my entire career to them and their pioneering efforts.
This is the story of Uneven Fairways.
World television premiere, Wednesday at 9 p.m. Eastern, exclusively on Golf Channel.
On Golf Central, our reports begin from the AT&T Pebble Beach National Pro-Am. Steve Sands bringing you the celebrity interviews. Plus, Michelle Wie prepares for her 2009 LPGA Tour debut. Golf Central, tonight at 6 and 11:30, only on Golf Channel.
Tom, in the 17 years we've worked, you've become a much better driver of the golf ball. Mm-hmm. Tell me why you think that's happened.
Well, I hit it straighter.
You sure do.
People who I play with who don't know me very well all think that I hit this big hook. And I used to hit a big hook, but now I hit it pretty doggone straight. And a lot has to do with the equipment, you know, with the ball spinning less and things like that, but a lot has to do also with the swing. My swing has improved a great deal.
Especially through the middle, haven't you, Tom? You've restricted yourself in your lower body on your backswing some, which has stabilized the club up on top?
Yeah, definitely. Well, you know, my swing was always, as a kid, it was always high and to the inside, drive and flip. So the path was way this way, away from the inside with a bit of a flip. And as you and I spent more time together, and we got the path more, backswing more on this line, and instead of being up here and real shut at the top of the backswing, and then dropping it and hitting it like this with a closed club face, I've become more square. Mm-hmm. You know, the more square I become up here, the more I've had to rotate through the ball this way.
And get the club sooner back to the left.
Back to the left. And so my plane is way better now than it ever has been. And, you know, I've always believed that ball position is a big deal. You know, with the irons, the ball is towards the middle of your stance, and as you hit it, you know, you're in this position with the driver. It goes off your left heel or that direction, and you still want to make sure you keep your left shoulder behind the ball. Okay. And I think the reason I've gotten better at driving is I don't lean nearly as much this way to get to the ball I'm using my legs more, so my left shoulder stays behind it, and so I end up hitting it where I'm behind the ball.
And that lets you hit it on the upswing, doesn't it?
I hit it on the upswing, yeah. So it's, you know, if I want to hit a drive, I put it off the left heel, and I make sure I stay behind the ball. You know, my much more square at the top of the swing with my hands, and the ball goes a lot straighter.
Tom, I used to watch Davis Love when he was much younger hit balls at different speeds. Do you ever practice where you do full motion, half speed, or slow motion, so to speak, to feel how you're using the head of the golf club?
Yeah, I do occasionally. If I feel like I'm really out of sync, you know, I'll slow it down. You know, because you know the legs to me have always been the foundation of my swing.
Sure.
So we've worked, you know, very hard at getting the legs moving in the right way and getting the upper body and lower body to be in sync. You know, and so one of the things I've always believed, and we've worked on it, is that the backswing, you need to make sure your right hip doesn't turn too much. If your right hip turns too much, you lose all the coil in your swing. Okay, so it's got to turn a little bit, but not as much as your shoulders. So it turns back, the left knee comes in. So we've worked real hard on this move right here, and then the downswing, kicking that knee out. So start the downswing, kick the knee out, and then rotate. So that's what I do slow motion.
Okay.
So I'll go real slow, I'll take it back, kick the knee, making sure I get everything's moving in sequence.
And that really slows down your upper body, doesn't it, Tom? It makes you give a more consistent delivery of the angle of approach of the golf club when you start with your lower body like that.
Yeah, the lower body's in charge. It gets things moving. When the lower body leads, this move right here, the club drops right in the right spot, and then as you rotate on your thigh through the ball, you're down the line, and then you just finish your swing at the target. So the legs put everything in the right sequence. What you see so often is just the opposite. Hit it off the ground because the tee went somewhere else, but you see somebody try to hit a shot and they try to lean with their shoulders. Okay, the shoulders lean, now you're totally out of sequence because the legs have been completely nullified. They're no longer in the swing.
Tom, the truth is I think so many people in their effort to shift their weight feel like their upper body leaning gets their weight to shift, where in essence what you're telling us is that the arms react to the legs moving in a motion that controls the upper body staying more quiet.
Yeah, I liken it to playing crack the whip as a kid, like on the ice. The lower body is leading the swing. As it turns out of the way, the end of the line gets whipped through, okay? So this has to be the leader, okay? I see my left side as being the leader of the swing, okay? The weight goes back and it moves through, okay? And as it turns out of the way, the end of the line, the club head, picks up speed and it gets whipped through the ball, okay? So it's all about the lower body and your left side leading the club head.
And supporting the swinging of the arms and the club.
Right, so what you're trying to do is you're trying to deliver the club head back to the ball.
Consistently
in a square position. You know, so if the lower body assumes the control of the golf swing.
You know what, I think you still got a chance to win some cash out there. But Thomas, of a serious nature, you've been a great influence on my life and the game, and I cannot thank you enough for that. But
well, thank you.
For your contributions, the game's indebted to you, and thanks, and I hope you compete in many more years in really good health, Tom.
Well, the feeling is mutual. Thank you.
And thanks for helping our folks play better golf through understanding their golf swing better and how to become more consistent. Take your regular starting position with an iron, ball teed slightly. Then raise your right foot, which puts the weight on your left leg, will encourage a downward striking action of your golf ball.
For private instruction and corporate outings, call Jim Flick Golf at 888-JIM-FLICK.
All right, class, let's button it. Becker.
Here.
Callahan. Callahan. Delivery confirmation on Callahan.
Drop him off at 8:15.
Gymnasium.
No, sir, no Callahan.
Always.
No Callahan. Just a freshman.
Thank you. No emails from his parents. Drivers, I need a 20 on Callahan. Got him. Reroute him straight to detention.
Get more done now with the new BlackBerry Curve, the only BlackBerry Curve with Nextel Direct Connect.
I love to draw, you know, it's really inspiring to me. I was always able to draw pretty well, but was missing, you know, a good structural foundation. And that's what Art Instruction Schools found for me.
Art Instruction Schools has been successfully training artists since 1914. You'll learn at your own pace in the comfort and privacy of your home. So if you'd like to become a better artist, take the first step. Call this number for your art test. There's no obligation. You must be 18 years or older to call.
How many courses did you call before you found one that wasn't too far, wasn't too expensive, had a driving range, and could squeeze you in between 10 and 11. Maybe you should have just gone to golfnow.com and got it all in one shot. Get tee times at thousands of courses nationwide, online 24 hours a day. Book tee times at Northern California courses like Rancho Cañada and Laguna Seca.
Hold on there, buddy. I got something to tell you. Even the best of us get dull after a while. It's time to change your blade. All us Fusion blades have an indicator strip, and when it fades to white, change your blade for a better shade. Whoa!
Fresh blade, better shade. Golf Channel Thursday. Michelle Wie makes her LPGA Tour rookie season debut. But this is the first full field event on tour. And these ladies are ready to get it started. Who can handle the pressure and make it to the winner's circle? It's game on. The SBS Open at Turtle Bay. Coverage begins Thursday at 6:30 p.m. and 12:30 a.m. Eastern on Golf Channel. Golf Channel is your passport to the European Tour. Watch the best players in the world compete all season long. The race to Dubai is on Golf Channel, the exclusive home of the European Tour.
Hey, what's going on? I'm Don Cheadle. You're watching the Golf Channel.
With us we have Dr. Richard Coop, one of the great mental coaches in the history of golf. Richard, help us understand a little bit how you get your tour players and how our average players might use the proper mental set to go play and compete.
But Jim, one of the things that I do is I ask each of my players to write down OTE, OTE, OTE on the front of their scorecard. You can see here I've already done this for one of my players. And what this means is that it's an opportunity to excel. At some time during the round, you're going to have a situation where you might call it a bad break, but I like to refocus it and reframe it and call it an opportunity to excel.
So
for example,
no pity parties.
No pity parties out there. We want you to think if you hit the first tee shot and it barrels under a bunker in the fairway, that's an opportunity to show people how mature you are, to go out, play the ball out to the fairway, hit it on the green, and maybe get your one putt for par.
Boy, Tiger is a genius at that.
Tiger is wonderful. I don't know how he learned that. I didn't teach him that, obviously, but I find this OTE, and actually you check them off. Once you have an OTE, you check it off. You take your Sharpie and you check one off, okay? You may have four. You know, if that happens, you borrow from tomorrow. you are going to have to reframe and rethink about a shot that you might think of as bad luck, and that's where you get the pity me kind of situation. And if you reframe it as an opportunity to excel, Payne Stewart was the absolute best at this. If Payne had a bad shot, if I could convince him it was a time to show off his recovery skills, he approached that shot with an entirely different frame of mind and pulled it off a lot higher percent of time.
Richard, I was lucky enough to room with Arnold in college, and I watched him do that so many times, display shots that set the tone for him to take control of the situation, and he used it as a way to get an advantage and a positive sense out of the situation, didn't he?
All the great players have figured out how to do this. Mr. Nicklaus, your friend, is pretty good at that too. And Tiger, as you mentioned, and all the guys I work with, and all the ladies too, I think this is very, very important. So remember, it's your choice. Is it a bad break, or is it an opportunity to excel?
I've certainly learned a lot in working with Tom these last 17 years. I hope you have today. And a couple of things that I would not want you to lose track of is always practice with a purpose. Number two, have a shaft on the ground to establish your target line so you train your eyes and you get comfortable with your target line and how to make the ball go down there. A couple drills that you might want to use. To make sure you hit down on your ball properly, take your regular starting position with an iron, ball teed slightly. Then raise your right foot, which puts the weight on your left leg, will encourage a downward striking action of your golf ball. Now, from there, to make the change so your body is in the right position with the driver, we now want to be hitting up on our golf ball. So we take our regular starting position, but we reverse the setup. Now, I'm going to lift my left heel off the ground, tilt my body back so my angle of approach will be downward, then upward through the ball by swinging the club and catching the ball on the upswing. Remember, Tom told us the golf ball tells you the truth. Enjoy the learning process. Watch your golf.